Kohler-Cadmore's made for baseball as well.
Filthy Kent.
I was flustered.
Well, hang on a minute. Hang on. I've seen some of that. It's filthy.
Are you okay?
Absolute god of a man, isn't he? Hello and welcome to Under the Lid, the Pro Cricket Show with me, Jack Brooks.
And me, Katherine Sciver-Brunt. Hello, Jack.
I'm back.
All right, my love. Jack is back. And it was just me and my old mate Amy Jones last week, wasn't it? Did you enjoy our episode, or are you still, reeling a little bit?
I did enjoy it. The content was great. I'm not sure about the presenting.
Questionable.
You got stuck into me a couple of times, but probably deserved it. Left you hanging, didn't I? I'm really sorry about that. But I definitely wasn't on holiday like you alluded to. Just get that out there for the listeners. I was very busy last week. We couldn't synchronise, unfortunately, but you held it up really well, and it was. I actually really enjoyed it because obviously you and Amy are so close that it sounded just like a normal chat amongst friends, really, didn't it? Pretty easy going.
Well, that was a good one, a good favour to pull in at that point, I reckon. Just make it a bit more matey rather than an actual, job. So I enjoyed that one. So I recommend, you do the same one week and, you scratch my back.
When you put your holiday form in, let me know when it'll be, and I'll.
Well, we've got your mate, a mate of yours on this week, so.
We have, yes, we have. He's a very good friend of mine. I played with him at two different teams, and I'm really looking forward to chatting to him because I haven't really spoken to him properly for a little while. He's a busy man.
I'm looking forward to getting to know him. Heard a lot about him, watched a lot of his cricket, so I'm excited for this one. I've been a bit of a cow bag, and while you've been away, I've got our producer to have a little look on the old cricket archive for a bit of, fun info. And you've got 2 tons to your name, but not in the way you would like them.
Here we go. Yeah.
You've reached your 100. So the stat is you've gone for 100 twice in a single first class match. Do you know what games they were in?
Do you know what? I got prompted earlier, and I knew one of them because I remember it. It's not clearly, but I remember the game, how frustrating it was. But I didn't know the other one. I know one was at Sciver-Brunt against Middlesex. I'm up on the board for a fifer, but it's like 5 for $1 million.
You'll take it though.
I'll take it every other week.
It's meant to be abusing you, but actually it's just 10 wickets to your name in 2 games. So happy days.
Well, yeah, but they are fifers, but you kind of forget how many runs you got. I used to hate going for 100 runs. It didn't happen too often, but I used to go for like 80 or 90. Whenever we had a bad one, I was like, oh, God, don't go for 100, don't go for 100. But
I was in Australia once off the back of our tour watching the England men, and Stuart Broad went for a ton at the Wacker. And it did not go down. It went down very well with the Aussie fans.
It's the equivalent to probably getting a pair, isn't it, as a batsman?
It's pretty bad.
Which I luckily never did. But I used to hate the thought of going for 100. It really isn't a good look. But also, Jason Gillespie used to tell me that you're not a proper bowler till you've been hit for 100. So,
well, to get you through it, we've got these beautiful IPAs. To drown your sorrows for those that are watching on YouTube.
From Double Barreled.
Yeah, Double Barreled. What a great name, dear Katherine. Our producer Tom Canning mentioned that you might enjoy our beer, so I thought I'd pop some over to you. Enjoy and cheers, Team DB. And you can find these in Waitrose, people. And I didn't even know.
Awesome, don't they? They do look awesome. And I've only tasted one of them so far, the Kitchen Disco, the strong one, which blew my head off, but it did get me going in the kitchen, to be honest.
Nice.
But thank you very much, Double Barrel. Very kind people over at Double Barrel.
The power of a podcast. Let's see what we can get next. Rolex? Nice. Anyway, what have you been up to while you've been not on your jollies?
Yeah, so I was actually working harder than normal last week. So I was running a half-term cricket camp, which I'd organised ages ago. And the closer it got, I realised I actually had to go through with it. So I had sort of over about 30 kids over 3 days between the ages of 11 and 15, if I remember rightly, for 6 hours a day. So it was great fun. And I had one guy assisting me who was brilliant as well, George. Big up George Setterfield. But it was really busy and knackering, as you can imagine. Day one rained a lot, so you had to get funky and creative inside in changing rooms and veranda with tennis ball cricket and various games and stuff. But I got through it, and it was good fun. Some good kids. Parents were really good fun as well. So I love the
Nice.
fact that one of them dropped their kid off and said, "Oh, you do finish at 3:30, don't you?" I was like, "Yeah, but you can come earlier if you want." She was like, "Well, feel free to keep until 5:30 if you want." I was like, I'm okay, thanks. I'll be done by then." And some various other little private coaching one-to-ones, but needed some much needed time with the family for a couple of days as well with the little man. And then club cricket for Banbury on Saturday, which again we lost, which I've now played 3 games and lost 2, so I'm not
Oh
doing
dear.
too well. I'm doing okay. The team is playing okay, but we just come off the wrong end of a few results. So it's a bit frustrating. I hate losing still, Katherine, I'm not going to lie.
It never goes away.
No, I'm bowling okay. I'm
Even
getting
when
a
you're
few
just
wickets.
like,
But
that takes me for a leisurely game of tennis, or it turns competitive. Golf, terrible.
I bet, yeah.
She's good at everything. It's really annoying. I'll get there.
Very talented human
Or not.
being. What about
Yeah.
you, mate? What have you been up to other than presenting on your own?
Many daft things. So, as you know, I'm a bit of a DIY nutter, and I
You
like to
digger?
do things myself. Yeah, I've put the what do you call it, the bobcat away, and instead I've had project bathroom in annex. So we've got this garage, and there's like a room above it, and I've wanted to like put it in, do a self-contained flat thing. So I've got a bathroom going on in downstairs, which is eating into my gym a bit, but got to do what you got to do. So I've been on with that, organising it. If everybody out there knows what trades are like, and organising trades, and like getting everyone to come when they're supposed to come, and doing it right. So that's been a bit stressful. And then had a massive pine tree cut down because I live quite rurally, so I've got an oil tank, and this
Perfect. Love
tree
it.
was like, the roots were lifting and like lifting the oil tank a bit. It was all getting a bit scary. Not to mention
Some
it was
spillage.
probably about to come down and take my house with it. So had that done, but in return got about 2 years worth of log burning
I
wood.
was going to
So
say, what have you
that's,
done with the tree? You're going to save it for Christmas, or are you just going to
oh yeah,
burn it all?
it's all ready for me to do. And then 2 day trip. Nat surprised me with a 2 day trip for our anniversary, and took me
Woohoo.
to the beautiful countrysides of Derbyshire. We went to the Peak District.
Nice.
It was lovely. Never really do stuff like that. So it's like this hot tub in a like gypsy looking hut overlooking the like countryside. It's a bit wild, really. My dog Bella absolutely loved it. So yeah, I had a
Amazing.
crack.
Congratulations. How many years is it?
Only 2. Feels like
There we go.
12.
You got through tough too.
That's many me children in it, not relationships.
It's marriage, isn't it?
Yeah, so
First year of
that's
having a child
me.
has been hard.
Yeah, that's me done.
Excellent. Well, it's never dull with you, is it? Remember, listeners, you can send in any feedback or questions to us by using the hashtag under the lid, or email hello@underthelid.co.uk. And as always, this podcast is brought to you in partnership with the PCA and the Cricketer, whose outstanding coverage of domestic cricket online has been recognised for 6 years in a row at the ECB Domestic Journalism Awards. Right,
Beautiful.
moving on to our guest. What do we know about him? Well, he's fresh off coming back from the IPL, where he made his debut. And he's straight back into the blast side for Somerset, where they won their first game against Essex, defending their title from last year, where they lost 2 games. And they just lost, was it last night at the Oval, to a strong Surrey side. So it'd be good to chat to him about how the first 2 games have gone and how his winter's been. He's a very good friend of mine. I've played a lot of cricket with him at 2 different counties. And yeah, what do you want to get to know about him?
Well, he apparently 29 years old. He always seems younger than that to me,
Baby
isn't he?
face.
He's got the good genes to be looking young. When he's 40, he's going to be looking 29, and he is 29. He's born in, how do you say this? Chatham,
Chatham?
Chatham,
Chatham?
in Kent. Filthy Kent. I mean, lovely Kent, but came through the age groups at Yorkshire and then Worcestershire, and we'll be asking him how all of that happened.
Yeah, well, let's get real deep under the lid here with Tom Kohler-Cadmore.
AKA Pepsi.
Hello, my friend. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really good, mate. Great to see that youthful face, mate. Catherine can't believe you're 29, bud.
Yeah,
Must
nearly
be
there.
Botox. That's where
Yeah,
we go these days.
Mate, we're going to start with IPL first. Obviously, you spent a decent chunk of time out there in India recently, and I think it's your first experience of it, isn't it?
yeah.
And you obviously made your debut for Rajasthan as well. Um, were you expecting to play that particular game? Or where were you sitting amongst the squad at the time? Was there much good comms about that? Or?
Yes, they were really good. It all kind of played out exactly kind of how they said it would play out from December. Um,
Wow.
so they knew Joss was kind of was due. Joss isn't pregnant; his wife's pregnant, but was expecting around that time. So he was always going to be leaving roughly when he did. So it was kind of communicated to me the whole time, kind of be ready for the back end. Obviously, if there's an injury, still be ready, but kind of you're not going to play unless there is an injury till the back end. So yeah, it was kind of nice to know that I spent kind of the tournament like. I think it actually kept me kind of going through the tournament as well because sometimes India can be a long time. Hotel to hotel, touring, sat on the bench thinking you're not going to play. Whereas that kind of kept me going, right, I've got a good chance of playing here, so I need to be ready.
Yeah.
Awesome, mate. And you've obviously got such big names there. Was it Sangakkara, Shane Bond, Ashwin? Is he captain or?
Ashwin was in the team, no, Sanju Samson was captain.
Samson's captain. And then you've got
Yeah.
the likes of Joss and Trent Bolt and that. What was it like being around these guys, mate? Were you in a little bit in awe at all? Little Tom in there in awe? Or was he just, big time in it?
Yeah. It was just, the whole experience was just amazing, kind of learning from the guys. I've been lucky enough to kind of play with a lot of the guys or play against a lot of the guys a lot. The only guys who I haven't was like Ashwin, but my dad looked after him in Worcester. So he already kind
He
of,
played for Worcester. He didn't just look after, didn't just come over and live with your
yeah,
dad, did
yeah,
he?
sorry, yeah. So
All right,
my
mate.
dad, yeah, Big Mick was looking after him in Worcester. So I had a lot of comms. Like there was always kind of a way in. We had like a mutual friend, obviously being my dad. So yeah, so with him it was just kind of very easy to get to know him, and everyone else was great as well. So the whole tournament though was just absolutely crazy.
Awesome, mate. No, so good to see you make your debut. We'll come back to your dad in a bit because I've got a question about him. In terms of the auction fee, and like, were you watching the auction live at the time, or were you able to? I
Yeah,
can't remember.
yeah. No, I was sat
Strange
with.
experience. Were you expecting to get signed, and also like, how was it having a sort of a price tag over your head? You just like, fine, that's just deal with it.
Yeah, I was. So I was sat in the change room at Taunton, and I've like obviously it's been one of my biggest dreams, probably second to playing for England. And when my name came up, I wasn't expecting to go, but I just had every hope that I would be picked. Just come off the back of like a really strong T10, so I felt kind of like my timings was right. Like, or if it was ever going to align, it kind of felt like it was going to be then. So when I was kind of sat there, I was sat there like nervously, kind of hoping because I knew if I didn't, I'd have been really disappointed.
Yeah.
But I also would have obviously fully understood why I wasn't picked. But it's kind of just that you really want to go, experience it. So as soon as they picked me, it was just a massive kind of relief slash excitement on kind of right. I've been selected now. I've not got to worry about that. I've just got to kind of get myself ready for like to go and perform out there.
Awesome, mate. That's so good. Where were you before that? So you were a T10. Where was that? Was that over in Dubai?
Yeah, Abu Dhabi.
And where else have you been this winter?
Uh, then I went to Big Bash, went to Sydney Thunder. Straight from there, I went to Dubai for the IL T20. Straight from there, I went to Pakistan, and straight from there, I went to the IPL. So I got back from November. I spent 2 weeks in the country, and I got back on Sunday.
Are you okay?
Yeah, how are you, mate?
Is everything okay?
Yeah, I'm actually like one of the strange ones who doesn't mind being away from home or being in a hotel room.
Oh
So
my god.
everyone kind of says to me like, "You're nuts doing it," but I absolutely just love playing cricket all the time, and being away. I got sent off to boarding school at 15, so I feel like that kind of helped me kind of
Yeah.
used to kind of chilling by myself or becoming more independent.
Oh, 100%.
Definitely.
Yeah. I know the year before I was obviously still at Somerset, and you were just embarking on I think, a pretty full winter away again, weren't you? The winter before that. So you've now done 2 pretty much full 12-month seasons, haven't you? And you must have played for about 10 teams in 2 years, including obviously you've been in England squad as well. I think your partner Melissa went away with you that winter as well, didn't she? She just racked a job off and went, right, I'm going to go and be a franchise wag for the winter.
Yeah, no, she didn't. She's become a supply teacher instead of a full-time primary teacher. So yeah, I can't badmouth her too much. She works whenever she can, but obviously for us to kind of like spend time together, it's nice. And I think she always, where would she rather be in the winter? Like a trip to Sydney or being stuck at like teaching like classes. It kind of makes it a lot easier to come to Sydney for her.
I've got to hang out with you the whole time, though. It's a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. I feel sorry for her.
In all seriousness, has burnout crossed your mind, or are you just thinking, I'm at an age where I can handle it, I'm going to cash in now and worry about that sort of stuff as I get older?
No, I think I've got a nice little support network. Obviously, I've got all the staff at Somerset who help me massively as well. But I've got my own sports psychologist and nutritionist who I kind of use a lot to then help me kind of stay fresh. And if there's ever a point where I'm struggling mentally or feel like it's kind of coming to that point, normally a phone call or two kind of really helps. So I've been able to kind of utilize that a lot. That keeps me fresh and keeps me like. There's obviously tough times when you're away, and this winter was probably the toughest one for me because all the others I've kind of performed quite well in, whereas this one I didn't perform as well as I'd have liked. So I actually used him a lot more, and it made me kind of understand like the value that that's added to my career.
Yeah, 100%. Hopefully you'll be better player for it, mate. But it's interesting you say that, because maybe like the modern way with the modern franchise player who's not going to be contracted to a county other than a T20 side, that where's their support network going to be, i.e. like physio, S&C, coaches, people to throw balls at them, like you said about sports psych and nutritionist. Do you think this is just going to be the norm in a few years, where you're going to be like an individual sportsman in a way, a bit like a tennis or golfer, and you have to hire your own team to look after you? If you're obviously one of the lucky ones who earns well, particularly IPL lads, that could be the way forward, and then that will deal with a lot of the challenges you have throughout the year. Do you foresee that? Or is that already happening?
I think the IPL, they had everything. So if someone gets signed on a multi-year deal like the IPL, kind of like the rumours have been around, everyone there kind of the support network in the IPL is amazing anyway. So I kind of feel like that would kind of become your franchise, or that would become your team. So you, like, just for examples, we had 4 physios in our IPL team, 2 masseuses, we had 3 strength and conditioning coaches. Like, we just had everything you could need and more, that you just, whatever time of the day, if you wanted to do a gym session, they'd make it work. Or have treatment, or like, there's guys getting treated after the game. Like, you finish at 12 o'clock, but there'll be guys getting treated at 2, 3 in the morning. Which, like,
money is literally no object to them, is it?
yeah, it's just crazy. Like, everything that's needed is just there and available to you. So I think if there's guys who are in like those kind of franchises, and say Rajasthan did say to someone, or Mumbai say, we want you, they will just make it happen. They will just go, okay, this is what you need. Oh, you're injured at the minute. Okay, go and see this guy. Because I've, like, from hearing the rumours and stuff around there, but it's like, I believe Trent Bolt got a gym sent to him, like his whole house, or at his house, he got a gym kitted out for him from Mumbai during COVID.
Whoa.
So, and it's kind of like stuff like that just becomes, if they really want you, obviously Mumbai money isn't an object to the owners anyway. So you will have a support network there. But I think it's more for the guys probably who aren't connected to a team but nip round to each team will need to become more self-sufficient and have guys who you train with, and like you have a facility you need to train with before you go there, because you can't just rock up and hit your first ball and expect to be kind of flying, or where are you going to bowl if you're a bowler, get your workloads up. So I think there's definitely kind of scope for something in England to have, even if it's like a bit of a centre for the overseas players potentially.
I was going to say, like with
Special.
money being so tight in the game, the counties, if they've only got, say, like a 2020 player or like a white ball cricketer, and yet they're contracted all year round, it's like, well, actually, you give us some money back off your contract if you want to use us and our facilities and our physios and S&Cs, because you're only here for 3 weeks of the blast, whatever. It's like, it'd be interesting to see where it goes in a few years. That's just one of the challenges in the game, I guess. But what about the razzmatazz of the IPL, mate? Like, you had the crowds. Was there any decent parties, and how well you looked off field? Like, did it live up to expectations?
Yeah, it did. The parties were good fun, but they weren't as loose as you'd like. It was just kind of the team. Obviously, you couldn't just go into a nightclub or whatever. So yeah, there was like, it was always like, it was really nice because every kind of party you had was just a private event through like the team / extended members of the team. So if you had your family, they were always invited. Or we had a big party when we got to Delhi, and the owners had like all the loads of sponsors, his kids were there, and they had loads of friends out as well. So there ended up probably being a couple hundred people at this place. They got some Red Bull dancers in, and they set kind of they kind of had a dance competition, and then got guys in dancing, like had a dance.
You were all over that then. That
funny.
is Pepsi all over that.
No, I didn't volunteer actually. I kept myself quiet. I wasn't going to volunteer for it, but if they forced me to do it, then I'd have shown them some good moves. But I think you can't kind of volunteer for that stuff.
The first week Nat went to visit the Mumbai girls when she got a gig at Mumbai. They went to Miss Sambani's tower, should I say?
Yeah.
And that she said that was wild, like actually wild. Like she's got a zoo on a couple of different levels. There's like, arcades, like a whole level dedicated to arcades. There was like a basketball level, 6 gyms, however many indoor pools. And then she had 600 staff that she employs every day, all year round. Like, she was just like, this is unreal. Yeah. Like, even just the bathroom with one toilet in was like 100 square meters.
Got someone holding the toilet roll for you whilst you're sat there.
Probably if she wanted, yeah. It's just ridiculous. It's different world, isn't it? And the noise at the games is just like deafening.
Yeah, that like the support is just kind of the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Like, we played Chennai, and Dhoni stood up in the changing rooms, and like, so we'd lost it. They need like 10 off 3 overs, so the game's done pretty much unless you get a hat trick or something. But Dhoni's in next, so when like then the cameras just span to him. The noise from that was just deafening, and I was just there kind of going, I just hope we get one more wicket so I get to see him. I would have loved to have seen him walk out, but sadly we didn't take a wicket. But just every time he went on the big screen, it was just, I don't know, it was just, I've never heard anything like it, and I don't think I ever will again.
No. Definitely not outside of India.
Yeah.
It sounds like Friday night in Taunton, mate, to be honest.
It's only when you're around.
Yeah, now that I'm not there, it's quietened down a lot, I'd imagine.
Anyway, you called him Pepsi a minute ago, Jack. What was what is, talk me through Pepsi, how did it come about? Is this a franchise thing?
No, Pepsi was, when I was 15, my director of cricket / head coach at Worcester just called me like Pepsi Cola, because obviously my surname being Kohler-Cadmore. And then because the director of cricket, started calling me Pepsi, obviously the rest of the squad followed. And everyone else, yes, and it kind of stuck with me for pretty much, well, it's still with me now.
I think you'd have got Pepsi or KC, wouldn't you? What some shortened version?
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, and then in the franchise stuff, a lot of the commentators call me TKC.
Yeah.
So then that kind of just follows me around as well. So either of those two are kind of what I respond to now. No one really calls me Tom.
You're a naughty boy.
Yeah, who's Tom?
Yeah.
Now, we touched on last summer, you made the England squad, didn't you? Was it the ODI and T20s, or was it just ODI?
Just the Ireland series, ODIs.
Yeah, just the Ireland series, sorry, yeah. How close do you think you are to that team again? Like, what was the comms around that, and what was that experience like for you?
The experience was really cool. Just to kind of get the phone call to get that kind of little bit of recognition was kind of really nice. But then on that day, the day before, Woody went down with like tonsillitis, and there was only 13 of us in the squad, so it was a 50-50 whether they went with Tom Hartley or me. I'm not saying it was 50-50 whether they picked him or not, obviously, but I had it was either me or him who was going to play that game. They obviously went with him. But yeah, for me, it was just amazing to kind of be around it, because I've always felt so far away from it.
Really?
Yeah, I've always found kind of I've just never spent that much time in and around England setups. I've never played, I didn't play any junior age group stuff, done a couple Lions tours, but majority of my cricket's always been franchise stuff. So, and I've always wanted to get in and around the England setup, but you don't get too many comms from the selectors, just because if they say to you, you're next in line, but then someone then has a great 2-3 weeks, and you struggle for 2 or 3 weeks, you're going to pick the guy in form.
Where would you be in an ideal position? Like, let's just say you got exactly what you wanted. What would it be?
It'd be opening the batting.
Opening.
But obviously everyone in the batting, so I'd happily bat anywhere or do anything that's needed. But yeah, I could even bowl seam if they needed.
Well, hang on a minute. Hang on. I've seen some of that. It's filth.
Yeah, they definitely would.
Meant to be hard.
But no, I think for me, it's just kind of like having the opportunity to kind of try and represent your country. Obviously, you've done it so many times, and I can only imagine how proud you feel, especially on the first kind of time you put the badge on. Walking out there, the nerves, the excitement, the kind of expectation, and then obviously I think everyone's dream is to probably play in the Ashes.
Yeah.
But I also realise where my game's at in red ball cricket, I probably need to churn a lot of runs. But then behind that for me, it'd be like playing in a World Cup. And then obviously how you won the World Cup final, kind of to have an experience like that, I think would be definitely obviously everyone would dream of playing that and being able to do that.
Yeah, it's addictive for sure. It's like I never actually wanted it, and I don't know if that was me protecting myself or whatever, but once I got it, within about 2 weeks I knew that was where I was supposed to be, and I never looked back, and everything was just so addictive. For all the suffering you have in training. Some people love training, but it's not the one. I trained really hard, maybe overtrained sometimes, but the playing it's just so addictive. And the bigger we got, when the crowds get bigger, and when I went out to the IPL, just watching Nat play, it was the first time I'd been out there for that, and I watched her playing that, and I was just that's next level. I never got to do that. I've had big crowds before, but that was something else. And yeah, I can see what obviously appeals. and once you get there, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, like just from like the crowd point of view, it's kind of, it is a big difference. Obviously, you start your day, you make your journey, you start playing, and you're like, I'm playing. Like, obviously, I started at Worcester, and Worcester's probably 5,000 seater stadium, and we'd sell it out once a year. Other T20 games would be decent, like full enough, but not like Birmingham Bears game, always sold out, was like the highlight of the season. And then you'd go to Birmingham and there'd be 15,000 people there, and you'd be like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, this is the best thing ever. And then
would you agree with me that if you, let's say you played in front of a 30,000 at Lords, like that just pulls like 30% more out of me? I don't know about you.
Yeah, no, I love it. So for me, it's kind of my kind of, probably the Roses match for me is my record in that's very good because of the atmosphere, because of the pull, because of everything like that.
And that's why, if Brendan McCullum's listening, the Ashes would pull that out of you as well. I can see hundreds.
Kohler-Cadmore's made for Bazball as well.
Yeah.
Where would you bat in a Test team, in the Ashes team?
He's going in as a bowler or something. He's probably going to bat 10 or 11. Jimmy's spot 11, maybe?
10 or 11. Bowl little swinger. No, anywhere I can bat. I can bat anywhere from, like, I bat at the top of the order to kind of 6. So I think at the minute I would quite like to try opening again. I opened a bit for Yorkshire, and that spell didn't go very well for me, but I wasn't actually
batting. Remember it well.
Yeah, so do I. So I was actually in a good place for watching cricket. I was averaging like just under 40, and then opened the batting, and then my average dropped down to like 31 very quickly. So kind of, but I was very much in my shell, very much kind of old conventional way of kind of cricket, of worrying about getting out, worried about taking risks. Whereas now I don't worry about kind of getting out. It's more about scoring runs and putting pressure on, and almost kind of playing the way, playing my best kind of cricket is me being attacking.
Definitely.
What's your favourite format, mate? I never think I've ever asked you.
It is Test cricket, but I'm far better at white ball. Like, I'm far better at T20 cricket. And then my least favourite is 50 over cricket. I just find it so long and kind of...
It takes long, doesn't it?
Yeah, 3.5 hours.
Played it, mate. You haven't played it for a while, so I don't know what you're moaning about. Unless you're going to play for England.
What do you think to 40 over cricket? Is that Village?
Yeah, Pro 40, get it back.
I think it's brilliant because it takes out those 10, 12 overs in the middle.
That is so true. I went feral at 36. 36 overs, I started to go feral, and I was thinking, doing a third or fourth spell.
Yeah.
My back's killing. 2 spells is fine. This.
Yeah, no, I think if you can, like, it just keeps the standard high. Like, it just keeps it more entertaining for everyone. Like, and it's quicker and it's kind of more exciting. There's going to be more boundaries. There's like everything about it. It doesn't mean you've got to spend the whole day there as well. It can be a lot shorter as well. You can play late afternoon into evening games. You can, like, I don't know. For me, I'd love to see it back, and I also think it would.
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Let's petition.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's not like a serious convo.
Yeah. Well,
I reckon if you ask all pro cricketers, men and women, they've said the same thing.
But if you look at kind of all the guys who won 2019 World Cup with England, they were all Pro 40 players when they started. So I think obviously you can say that it did work because you managed to get those guys through anyway.
Yeah. Well, it does create that good short format players, doesn't it, as well? Like, you can just
everyone bats like that now as well.
Yeah, exactly. You can take more risks, which in turn will create more exciting cricket.
100%.
Nice.
A couple of more questions from me before I hand over to Brunty for a bit. Fred Flintoff, as a mentor, quickly sum him up, please, from last summer.
He's an absolute legend.
Yes.
It was actually really funny. So I played him in his game when he retired and then came back.
Yeah.
So I played him in that. And first of all, obviously he's a hero of mine. Growing up, like 2005 Ashes was kind of my the thing that got me into cricket. So I'm facing him and stand there, he bowls on my hip. I hit him for 6 first ball. So I'm like, secretly, I'm like, how good's this? Like, this is class. And then he ends up getting me out and gives me the biggest send off I think I've had to that point. So then I ended up telling him this story, and he was so apologetic.
Yeah.
He was absolutely devastated about it, and I was just like, "No, don't be. I absolutely loved it. Like that made my game, not." But yeah, and he was just great value. Just great fun. Exactly what you see, kind of everywhere. Like as when you see him on TV or whatever, he was just the same kind of guy. Great fun, good laugh, kind of. And he also had obviously I didn't work with him from a bowling point of view, but obviously his cricket knowledge was amazing as well.
Absolute god of a man, isn't he?
Yeah.
And if you don't make it for England, mate, how long before you're going to give Germany a go?
Yes.
Well, there's a lot of isn't there? So no,
European tournaments.
Yeah, no. So my brother's actually just been selected for Germany, I believe.
Has he? Because I don't think many. I applied for the Germany women's job in the winter, right at the beginning of the winter, like before I looked at any other coaching job. Yeah, I had a Zoom interview, and
do you know the Pakistani team up for a head coach?
Pakistan women.
Yeah.
I'll throw my CV at them as well. Then I'll throw it all over.
I had a bit of a combo.
There
Yeah.
we go. You'll be a great head coach, Brunton. Go straight into
I'll
the big dog job.
I'll get to what.
You're good wearing that coat, yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the questions I got asked was, we need to try and grow the game, and there are a few people in county cricket with German passports, and I was like, Kohler-Cadmore? And I know obviously your brother, for our listeners, is a bit of a club bully in the Yorkshire leagues, isn't he? He just gives it absolute welly. It's bigger bombs than you, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
So he would be perfect for that competition. But your mum, for those who don't know, is actually German, isn't she?
Yes. Yeah.
So, and your dad's Welsh.
Yeah, my dad's Welsh, and I'm born in England, so a little bit of a hybrid.
Great story. So yeah, I'm guessing at some point you'll have a little crossover, because who plays for Germany in county cricket? Is it Montgomery?
Montgomery does. Smeedy's available as well.
Smeedy's available.
Yeah.
Imagine you and Smeedy open the batting for Germany.
Yeah, me, Smeedy, BKC in at 3.
Dieter Klein, is he still playing for them?
I believe so. I know he's definitely kind of eligible, so I think we wouldn't actually have a terrible team.
No, it doesn't sound like it, mate.
Did you see one of the opening World Cup games? Was it Weiser? What's his name?
David Visa.
Visa. He wasn't it Oman v Namibia or something? And
yeah, he's Namibian, isn't he?
He went to a super over, and obviously he batted in the super over and he bowled in the super over, so they won.
Gun.
Cheat.
Yeah.
That's what you could be doing.
Yeah.
I know, and he's smashing it for them on his own. He must be loving that.
Anything for stash.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you need. Yours, the more stash you get, the better.
Well, it sounds like it. You paid for about 15 teams. So.
You had a close one on Sunday, was it? Sorry. Were you on the losing end of that?
It didn't. It wasn't close in the end. We got hammered. We lost by about 50 runs.
I couldn't believe the game.
Yeah, it was the strangest game. We had them 3 down for nothing, and the pitch was naught. I think J. Roy got hit 4 times in his first 5 balls or something. First ball hit him on his back elbow. Second ball he ran at and he hit him, bounced up and then hit him in the jaw.
Is he struggling still?
No. Well, he actually then started smacking him a little bit. And I thought
he hit a couple of big ones, didn't he?
Yeah, I was thinking, we've woken him up here. That's the worst thing we could have done. But the pitch was just kind of you were thinking, hopefully we can get him kind of. It's going up and down, and then Jamie Smith just came out, and first ball we backed away and got he inside edged it and it went for 4 past 45. And then before he faced his second ball, Popey nearly ran him out. Like
Abe should have run him out, shouldn't
he? If he ran him out, he'd have been out. And then after that, he just hit every ball for 4 or 6. It felt like he got 80 or 30 balls or something, and it was just, and he was just playing on a different wicket. And then him and Popey put on about 100. So we were like, oh, okay, here we go. Like we're probably chasing 200. So my housemate Ben Green kind of he bowled 2 overs for 27. So you're kind of thinking, oh, here we go. And we didn't have Lewis Gregory, so we kind of only had 5 bowlers. So you were thinking, oh God, we could really do it.
Put your hand up, mate.
Yeah. No, definitely not. And then he ended up finishing his spell with 4 for 32 or something. He bowled like
nice.
Yeah, so we ended up bowling him out for 160. So at the halfway stage, we were like, oh, we should backing us to chase it. Got off to an okay start. We were 52 for 2 at the end of the power play, then got bowled out for 100. Everyone kept getting out. I thought I was quick between the wickets. I wasn't. So yeah, it was one of the, and it just kind of felt like as a team we just needed to not try and we were chasing 8 and over, whereas it felt like we kind of were trying to get 10, 12 and over instead of just taking it a little bit deeper and potentially even going at 6, 7 and over for a little period.
Yeah.
And but they bowled really well. Obviously, their bowling attack with Spencer Johnson, Gus Atkinson, Jordan Clark, Sean Abbott.
Yeah, not bad.
They've got some proper bowlers in their ranks, and they've also got half the guys in the World Cup as well. So it'll be interesting in their selection when they get back.
They got too much money.
Yeah, yeah.
You're champions, though, mate. Oh, we're sorry. Yeah, I was a champion. I'm not anymore. I'm actually coaching for Surrey now, which I feel like a turncoat. But yeah, you're the champions, mate. So yeah, what's the vibe around that?
Yeah, great boys. I think we're disappointed because we believe we should have won that game.
Yeah.
And we believe we can beat any team in the competition anyway. So I think we've got the kind of, I felt like it last year as well, that you look down the squad and you go, we've generally got 11 match winners in the team. Like last year we had 10 guys who could bat and win us the game, and then we had Brooksy at 11.
When's Lewis back?
I think he'll be back this week. His hand, he just got bad bruising on the back of it. So
big time T20 player, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He always seems to turn up as well when TV's there, and when we need him, he kind of always comes in clutch. I remember his knock last year in the quarter final. We needed 100, and we were 5 down already. And him and Greener, we won 5 down and absolutely walked it in the end. So he's a great man for a crisis.
That's why he's the skipper of the Rockets. He's the skipper of the Rockets, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's been so good there, and he's a good bloke. Is he really a good bloke?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
very
chilled.
Yeah, and he doesn't. He's one of those leaders that you look at the field and it's all going kind of tits up, and you're thinking, oh my God, what are you thinking? And he's just there going, let's just go get a wicket. Let's keep taking wickets. And you're like, yeah, all right, I can get behind that. Or if you're behind, it's like, let's take the positive option. Whereas most people seem to get emotional and think like whatever. And he just goes, well, no, what's our best ball to take a wicket? Or what's our best way to positively impact the game now with the bat? And he never really will. He'll only challenge people if he feels they can be doing something better in that situation to help the team. He doesn't. If you're trying your hardest and you get whacked and the plan's right, that's fine. That's just like T20 cricket.
Exactly. Sounds great.
Yeah.
I mean, captains like that are gold, aren't they?
Yeah.
They make you feel $1 million or make you feel a little bit less stressed when everything, like you said, has gone tits up.
Yeah.
So you sound like you're settling into Somerset life pretty nice. What's it like going from the mighty Leeds to Taunton? A bit of a social shock.
Yeah, no, it was very strange at the start. Lammers, come in. Come on. I've got a visitor. Lammers wants to come say hello.
Yes.
Thomas. Hello, Lammers. All right, Bubbles.
A long time. I'll leave you guys to it. I don't want to interrupt too much.
Get
I'm
off,
going,
mate.
so I'm going to get out of it.
Get your bad chat out of it.
Nice to see you guys. You're settling in very well.
I'm settling in very well. I think so. Like when I signed here, I moved. It was kind of like mid-season. It was kind of I'd signed, and we played at Somerset the week after or something. And I was walking through the high street, going, "Oh my god, what have I done?" Kind of used to being in Leeds to kind of. Then I walked down the high street. I'm like, where am I going to eat? What am I going to do? And then actually, as soon as I moved down here, I absolutely love it. Found loads of nice pubs, a lot of them thanks to Jack Brooks.
Yeah.
So found kind of like all the good places to eat. I live quite a boring lifestyle anyway. So
I was going to say, like, if there's one bloke who's going to move from the city to the middle of nowhere in their 20s and absolutely love it, it's you. And you don't drink. You got 2 dogs. You still live with 20-year-old blokes.
And I found as well, like, this here reminds me so much of Worcester as well, where everyone lives in kind of, they're so close. So the boys are so close as friends. They do so much stuff together. So it was so quick and easy to actually create the bonds that you have in a team, because you actually spend so much time together. Whereas up in Yorkshire, it took a little bit longer because you've got Livy living in Whitby. And then
it's a big county, isn't it?
Yeah, and then you've got guys in Sheffield, York, Harrogate, like Ripon, like you've got everyone kind of spread around. So then you just see them at the ground a lot of the time. Whereas here, it's kind of anyone fancy a coffee, and there'll be 4 or 5 guys minimum that are kind of nipping in.
There'll be 20 blokes turning up because there's nothing else to do in Taunton.
Yes.
We were part of Leeds massive, mate, weren't we? Stuck together.
1 second, I've just accidentally put my headphones back on.
You can't hear a word you're saying, Jack.
What a clip. Look at him. Look at his face. Panic.
Oh no, you literally can't hear him. He's proper full panic now.
God.
Hey, you back?
Yeah, I'm back. Oh no, I was flustered.
Oh, the heart rate's gone. You're gonna have to work on this in case you play for England.
Yeah,
you got to be able to adapt. Good practice. You've thrown me now. This is great. Our producer's got a badger question here, and he wants to know how many times you watched back the catch you took in the last year's blast.
I actually don't know, but so like the best thing about that catch was me, Lewis, and Daniel Sams have spent a load of time together in the 100 with the Rockets.
Oh, so Daniel Sams, yeah.
And obviously he was the one I caught, so like constantly just sending him like a still photo of it, or and then so but we're like obviously really good friends, and we were around his house and we were talking, and his wife said to me, she goes, "Oh, it's fine, you won this year, so now we all want Essex to win this year." So now we're supposed to be rooting for Essex to win the blast this year, but we were like, no, we're going to try and win it again. But
we want back to back.
Yeah,
he's a good signing for the Rockets when he's been properly handy. It surprised me when he was properly boshing it. I didn't realise that he could bat quite. I've obviously watched him in Australia and stuff, but I never thought he could bat quite as good as that. Every time he came out for the Rockets, I just thought, if we were in a sticky position, I just thought, well, I think we're all right here. He can properly twat it.
Yeah, no, he absolutely smacks them. I think that's kind of like the surprising thing that you find in these franchise tournaments. You see people on TV and you're like, oh, he's all right. And then you see him in like real life, you're like, oh my God, he absolutely smacked. And you're like, okay, we're good now. We're good. Yeah.
Like a long fucking way it was. It was good to watch. Talking of other cricketers, who was quicker? Spencer Johnson or Riley Meredith?
I felt like Riley bowled a little bit quicker yesterday. I've not faced Riley, so I can't tell you kind of from a personal point of view. Spencer is fast though. So, but yeah, I think when you're facing someone that quick, that it's almost a mile an hour here or there actually doesn't make, like, it's still really rapid, and you're still thinking, oh, how can I use this pace and try and deflect it somewhere, instead of when it's kind of a little bit slower, I'm thinking, how far can I hit this straight? With these guys, I'm thinking, can I try and pick it up over square leg somewhere?
Just about outside leg stump, that'll do.
Yeah.
Flash hard.
That's the good thing about white ball cricket. You can stand there and go, oh, I was giving myself room.
Yeah. We're meant to do that.
Yeah.
Just paddle. Who did
Brooksy made a career out of that in red ball cricket, of backing away and slashing them.
If you're strong for the offside, mate, you give yourself more room, don't you?
I think Jaws paddled someone at the Oval the other day. I was commentating on it. It was a BBC and the...
That's interesting.
I think it was. He looked quite sharp that day, and he just does that like he doesn't care. It'll probably just hit me in the throat and end me immediately.
He was asking me, in the IPL, we were talking about batting, and he was saying, like, so his theory on kind of shots is, why would you not like practice to like have them? So he was asking me kind of, do I reverse sweep? Do I scoop? And I was like, no, I can't. And he's like, what do you mean you can't? I'm like, I just missed the ball. Like, I cannot physically do it. And he's like, oh, okay, well, why don't you practice? I'm like, because I'm that bad that it almost feels like a waste of energy whereas obviously he can kind of, like, he practices everything so hard. And you watch him in the nets and he just doesn't miss the scoop. So then when in a game, you're just like, you almost just know, like, oh, that's a 4 or 6.
Yeah.
If 45's up, you'll just do it.
Do you know what's interesting about that is I was listening to AB de Villiers a couple of years back, and he's the opposite. He doesn't practice any of them, but I think he's got a bit of a hockey background, and he just was able to do that piss easy without practicing.
Yeah, that just makes... I'm just thinking, how can you do it? Like, you're there, like, oh, I'm just good, like, because it's the sweep shot, so you sweeps a seamer, and like, for me to go, I'm going to sweep a seamer. No, I'm not. Like,
you've had enough concussions already, haven't you?
Yeah, but you're just thinking,
George wants to see you do it this year, and you'll be in.
Sweep a seamer.
Can we? Tom, you got to do it now. During this T20 blast, I want to see one.
Do it for us, mate. Do it
in any way, shape, or form that you like.
Yeah, okay. I'll try my best.
Do you think it was a good decision to tell your England captain that you can't reverse sweep or ramp, by the way?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I can, mate. I just don't like to play it at all.
Yeah.
You can do loads of other things.
I don't think it'd be very hard for him to know, because you look at any analysis pack nowadays and they go, do they reverse sweep? No. And do they scoop? No. So it wouldn't take him very long, and he'd go, why did you lie to me? So yeah, I think like, and he would have seen me batting in the nets and just go, oh yeah, you definitely don't do it.
No, fair enough, mate. That's very funny. Talk about your you were packed off to boarding school at 15. So you were born in Kent to a Welsh and a German parent. You grew up in Yorkshire, up at Hornsey, wasn't it? Was it Hornsey?
Yeah.
On the coast. And yet you ended up at school at Malvern. Was it Malvern College?
Yeah.
How did that come about? And were you not through Yorkshire pathway at all? Like, how did that come about?
So I was Yorkshire pathway from 13 to 15. But I was in the B team for like the 13s and 14s. And then in the 15s, I got in the A team and then had a really good season, and then got scouted by Worcester. So they were trying to kind of find people to go play for Worcester Academy / there was a private school scholarship available as well. So it was kind of a no-brainer, really, just purely because of the educational side of it. Because if I stayed up in Yorkshire, I'd have either been a professional cricketer or I wouldn't have got any kind of qualification, like any GCSEs, I reckon. So for me, it was kind of allowed me to kind of have a little bit of a backup plan to go in there, getting an education, being able to kind of I got A levels, whereas 100% I wouldn't have got A levels if I stayed up north, stayed in Yorkshire. So for me, it was just an opportunity to go down there. Obviously, my cricket was always going to be my number one and something that I always wanted to do, but it allowed me to have that little backup plan. Just in case it didn't work out, or if I wasn't good enough, then I'd have been able to probably go to university or kind of find something else I wanted to be involved in.
It's hard, that, isn't it?
Spot on.
Choosing between cricket and school, but it feels like an easy choice when you're young.
Yeah,
That's when you're a teenager.
We hate school. School.
for me, I literally had the best of both worlds, because Worcester train at Malvern College in the winter. So I used to go to lessons. I'd have a free lesson, so then I'd go down and say the first team were training. I went and batted in my free period, and then I went back to different lessons afterwards. So it was literally I got so much stick from the bowlers, because they'd be like, "Oh, you are for your bat," and then they'd have a running session after the nets or whatever. But because I had a lesson, it was like, "Oh yeah, see you guys, enjoy your running."
That's the dream. That's an absolute dream. I'm jealous.
Was it a dream having your dad as a room attendant at Worcester and Yorkshire, mate?
Yeah.
The legend Mick Cadmore.
Yeah, it actually made my life so easy. I didn't do any washing that whole summer.
He's the greatest, one of the greats, absolute one of the county greats on the circuit. He used to light up every time you see Mick in the mornings when he's in the changing rooms.
Yeah, so there's a couple highlights for me of just walking into the change room and he's painting the change room, but topless, just
naked.
in an overall. Well,
yeah, I saw that in the winter. I went to get my kit when the season finished, and Mick was already doing winter duties. And I walked into the change room with Mick, topless in white overalls. And I was like, "Are you naked under that?" And he was like, "Might be." And I was like, "I'm just going to get my kit, mate. You just crack on."
Yeah. But yeah, no, he's so he had a background of prison service and also security, so worked at Wembley for years, and he just loves sport. So we were in Australia together, and Steve Rhodes rang and said, "There's the change room attendant at Worcester's available if you'd like to do it." And my dad used to follow me kind of everywhere and would just watch constantly and just absolutely loves kind of cricket. So for me, it would have been, if I said no to him not being able to work with me, or do that role, it would have actually destroyed one of his dreams. So it was nice for me to then be able to go, yeah, I'm happy for you to do it. And we only ever had one issue. And I got out one game and he tried to come and tell me what I did wrong.
Oh no.
Yeah. So then we had a disagreement very briefly. And then after I cooled down, we kind of had a proper conversation, and he said, let's not leave these, treat me as any other player. You wouldn't go and tell Mo and Ali in the dressing room and go, "Oh, why'd you do that, Mo?" or whatever. It was kind of so that we understood that was kind of the boundaries. And then ever since that point, kind of I'm 100% sure Yorkshire signed me just so they got Mick as changing room.
No,
attendant.
we got Mick as priority, and you came as part of the package, mate.
Yeah, that's what it was. So yeah, it was. But yeah, I loved kind of having him, and I think he absolutely loves it. And he had some of his highlights. He was there the day, obviously Stokesy won the Ashes game, and my dad's down there at the bottom, and he's filming him walking up, and Stokesy walks past him and tries to fist bump him. But my dad's not even acknowledging it, and then he just leaves him hanging. And just
oh no!
Yeah,
that's great content.
Yeah,
your dad sounds like a legend.
Right, we'll have a quick little PCA MVP update before we come back for some questions for Tom. So the MVP update in the men's team. Let's have a look at the early running in the Vitality Blast. Ravi Bopara, the youth player, currently leads the way, with another young player, David Willey, in second place, and yes, an actual young player in Jamie Smith chasing him down. It's definitely not just a young person's game. It's good to see two old stalwarts showing everybody up so far in the men's standings. What's women's looking like, Brunty?
I have to say, I don't know what Ravi's like as a person, but Rav cricket does make me chuckle. He just seems to get it done, doesn't he? Just like, I feel like he'll be doing it till he's 65 if he can get a decent little franchise gig here, there. He just, all these little
He's a naughty
different
bowler.
balls. He must be so annoying to bat against, or even play against, to be fair. Anyway, in the women's, we've got V. Morris for the Thunder Lancs. I can't wait till we go back to county names. I really can't. She's on top of the Charlotte Edwards MVP at the minute, and she is. We do keep finding out, don't we? Batting all rounders seem to stay at the top. It's a bit annoying. Poor bowlers. So she's doing all right with her little off spinners. And then we've got Katherine Bryce, who since she came back from the Scotland qualifiers, has just been doing all-rounder things. Yeah, she's been doing well. And then there's a horrible Australian in there, Amanda Jade Wellington, bringing up the rear in third. So she's just, her leg is 99% of the England girls would just run past her. She's annoying. She's one of their classic old school leg spinners. Very good, actually.
I'd be running past her as well.
Yeah, well, me and you definitely would. That's a fact.
Awesome. And under the lid's big question, next segment. As all our listeners obviously know, this show is all about getting the truth behind the life as the professional cricketer. Tom, every week we ask our guests for one piece of information most people would not know about you, ideally not cricket related. Is there anything quirky that not many people will know about you that you're willing to give up?
It's looking like you've not given him time to think about this, Jack.
Yeah, I don't know. I've not really.
Do you want to give us something about your businesses or your barbecue? I've already given away your German links.
Probably the one thing that's a little bit quirky is I've never been drunk. Literally never been drunk.
Even as a kid,
an alcoholic beer. So.
Yeah, so I've been kicked out of more nightclubs for being too drunk when I'm completely sober than most drunk people. That's probably another thing.
Loose cannon.
Yeah. I've got and like people say you get a hobby of like gardening, like keeping your grass perfect or golf at the age of 30, but mine like absolutely love a barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
you are good, mate. I'll give you that.
I've never met a 29-year-old fella that's never been drunk, so that's a good one for me.
Especially a cricketer.
Yeah, or even a pro cricketer where you're just surrounded by looseness.
Always good for a lift home, though, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yes, that is a great teammate to be having.
That's why
they're really annoying, actually.
So that's why we came close over the years. I'll do the drinking, mate. You just do the driving.
Great to share an anchor, Bab.
Right, Jack, let's not keep him any longer than we have to. We're on to the last round. This is the quiz. So we're going to test your badgerness. You get 60 seconds to answer as many questions as you can possibly get in. The leader, I believe, is still Ollie, isn't it?
Ollie Hammond with 8. Yeah, we'll try to be as quick fire as possible. And if you don't know or can't be asked, just say pass. We've got loads of questions.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah. Past 5 is pretty good, we've figured. So runs are on the board and we will just smash this out with you, Jack.
Yeah, 4 is Ben Duckett. He's at the bottom with Katie Levick at the minute. And Ollie's on 8. So
Does anybody you want to beat there? Don't be shit.
I just 5 will be nice. Just middle of the pack.
Yeah. You should get this. I mean, it's mainly about you. So, right, here we go.
Minute on the clock. Are you ready?
Ready.
3.
Okay, question
2,
1.
1, go.
How many runs have you scored in the 2024 IPL?
Quicker. Who do Somerset play on Friday night in the Vitality Blast? Yes.
Have you scored more runs in first class or T20 cricket?
First class.
Yep.
How many Toms and variations of that name are currently listed on the Somerset men's squad page?
4.
6.
Which England opener is your county ground pavilion named after?
Manchester.
Who is Somerset's T20 shirt sponsor?
Agree.
Who?
Who was your? What did you say?
Agree.
No.
Nah.
Shirt sponsor. The sponsor, mate, not the kit manufacturer.
Oh, okay. Cooper Associates.
No. Who was your first class debut against?
Country.
Yeah, where in France is Chatham twinned with?
No idea. Us.
Leeds.
Who has scored the most runs for Somerset so far this season in the county championship?
On Bantam.
No.
What number does Tom Lammonby wear on his shirt?
18?
Oh, 15.
No. 15.
That's awful, that, because Lammers as well is my housemate, and I've got 2 wrong.
I'm enjoying that. You just left him out. Right.
Oh, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, I hope he didn't listen to this.
Lammer's having the season of doom, and you just went, nah. I
Yeah.
think.
The France one was pretty hard.
Yeah, I'd never have got the France one.
Yeah.
I
thought you might have got
know.
this. Is it Trade Nation a small sponsor on the shirt or something?
No,
it's the
Trade
main
Nation's the main sponsor. But I thought it was the kit, like Castor or whatever, but we're cooking. So then as soon as that was in my head, I couldn't think about the rest of it.
Yeah, we should have maybe put that on there better.
Yeah.
How many Toms as well? There's you, Abel, Banton, Lammonby.
Yeah.
Who else is there? Thomas, the 2 Thomas brothers.
But that's not Tom.
Variations of that name. That wasn't a question.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just thinking first name as well. Really, that's just a trick question.
Right,
Yeah.
well, you joint bottom. How do you feel?
Yeah, joint bottom with Ducky.
Surely someone's going to get worse.
Yeah, you'd hope so.
Definite. It's going to happen.
Mate, awesome. Thanks so much for coming on and going under the lid with us. It's good to see you. We'll try and catch up soon, hopefully, as friends.
Yeah.
But keep bashing them, mate. I'll be watching out for you. And take care, mate.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, great to meet you, Tom.
Cheers.
All the best for the England debut. I'll be there. And get that paddle played.
I will do. I'll be working on it this week.
Yeah. See you, mate.
Wow, what do you think, Brunty?
He's great, isn't he?
Good guest. Good guest.
He was well chilled out there. I'm pretty sure he was just laying on his bed. Just chilling.
He was. He's just that sort of bloke. That was our 10th guest. We've done 10 of these.
Was it?
You've done all 10. I've done 9. But yeah, this is episode 10, isn't it?
I feel like we should crack a pale ale double barreled out.
We're almost halfway.
Yeah. Well, we're well into what we're in June now. I'd like the weather to match the month that we're in, though.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
It could do with some nice weather. But feedback wise,
Have we got some this week?
we need a bat update. What's going on with that bat of yours that you sent up?
Yeah, do you know what? I've been absolutely shocking. I've not even posted it yet. I do apologise.
No, you're keeping her
It
waiting.
is. I know, but it's not happening. It's definitely happening.
Should
And
get
that
it
was
for
a
Christmas.
great reminder for me. Yeah, Christmas. Would be nice. I know she's probably thinking, I do want to use it, this cricket season. So apologies, it's on its way. Don't you worry.
Nice touch that. When Katherine says she does something, she does it months later.
do.
It's fantastic. Feedback. What have we got here? You've got some letters, haven't you? Do you want to read them out?
A letter from a Mr. Ray Phillips. Hi, I haven't that long been watching Under the Lid on YouTube. Some great videos and content. I just wanted to say thank you to Katherine Sciver-Brunt and Anya Strubsol for getting me into cricket at the age of 16. I played for 13 years until age 29, retired due to a shoulder injury. Oh, I feel you. I know what that's like. Some of the best years I had. Loved it at the weekends playing cricket. And if I ever met Katherine Sciver-Brunt, in brackets, it will never happen. Never say never. I would make her a builder's brew, as Katherine said on the Amy Jones video. She likes strong tea. I just love Yorkshire tea, and that's renowned for being a strong
Yorkshire tea.
brew. Yes, fantastic.
Nice.
Well, thanks for that.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm glad
Cheers,
that
Ray.
you were inspired by us because it's
Sorry
always
you had to
great.
retire at 29, though.
Yeah, that sucks. But you got 13 good years. Some people get 2. So we've got to look on the bright side. And I'm glad you had a great career while you had it. Cricket's a fabulous game.
Next one, we got one from Sandra Church. I'm sure she's messaged before. Women's T20 World Cup. Is there going to be a similar problem for players with the clash of the World Cup in Bangladesh and the start of the WBBL 10 as with the IPL and the Men's World Cup?
There's going to be many a clash. It sucks, really. My opinion is quite strong on this, and there should be firm, secure windows for all, for at least the main 3 franchises, and that's a bit more clear cut in women's cricket. Like it's the IPL, the WPL, the 100, and the WBBL. They're the main 3 franchises we have, and if there should be just a clear window for people to make the choice to go and at least be available for it, because I do know some countries out there are getting frustrated, mainly Australia, because they're the ones that normally get sacrificed. The WPL is like something that goes to the forefront, and you make time for that. You just make it happen. Whereas the WBBL normally gets it. If you're going to have some time off, it's there, and they sort of just take a back seat. But I know for a fact the girls don't want that. They want to be there. They want to be a part of it. So we don't want Australia to lose faith in that side of it, because I know they'll just start getting sick of it and moving on, because the England girls aren't reliable. So it is rubbish.
Get the schedules right in men's and women's cricket, please.
I know it's such a boring topic to keep banging on about, but it's important. People have got to have control over their, I don't know, careers. I guess everybody wants to play for England, and then everybody wants to make the most out of their career. They don't want to have to choose one between your future and your current, if you know what I mean.
It's just frustrating, isn't it?
It's massively frustrating. But yeah, there is a headache with that, and it's happening. There'll be a lot of... I can't see, as it is, any English player playing in the WBBL this year at all. If it happens, I'll be very surprised. It will be a player that's like Tom, that just doesn't want anything.
It'd be some that haven't played for England, isn't
it? No, I think there's a couple of the current England girls talking about it, but it's just not manageable. It means basically not getting a day off for 6 months. It's a bit of a mad one.
I need to weigh up then. I need to weigh up, just like weighing up whether we're going to get a podcast sponsor or get some prizes for the quiz winner. It'd be great if we could get some big companies or names on board, or golf courses, beer manufacturers.
Or a lifetime supply of skips that was in the mixer.
Yeah, where's Brunty skips?
We've got these double barrels now. We're making waves.
Fantastic. Jack, we're finally, after 10 episodes, we're getting somewhere. We do love the feedback as always, so thank you for those letters or emails, whatever they were. Please do get in touch for any more feedback with the hashtag #underthelid on the socials, or email in at hello@underthelid.co.uk. Now, that is us for this week. Thank you very much for getting under the lid with us. Great as always. Tom Kohler-Cadmore, legend. Hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe, leave a review, tell your mates. See you later.
Yes. Have a great week, guys. All the best.